The Ink and Paint Club podcast is intended for mature audiences only, so don't tell your parents! Listener discretion is advised.
Matt, you could also just wear an eye patch over your bum eye and just, be a pirate or something.
Yeah, but then I wouldn't have any depth perception.
When you don't need that. You don't need depth perception. That's for nerds. You're not a nerd, are you?
There's enough nerd on this podcast.
I don't know if I should be insulted or not.
You're listening to the Ink and Paint Club podcast, your weekly home for animation reviews and discussions.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Ink and Paint Club podcast for this week. My name is JD. I am joined by Kyle.
What's up?
And Matt.
Oh, cutting this episode close enough, eh? Waka waka.
Get out. You're banished from the podcast. We are going to be talking about Close Enough Season 2, which just dropped on HBO Max. If you don't know what Close Enough is, it is regular show creator J.G. Quintel's follow-up to Regular Show, which is basically just what if everyone in Regular Show was older and also human.
And they cursed and they did drugs and they
just dropped an insane amount of I'm not gonna say it's product placement, just real world references and product names. It's baffling.
Yeah, especially in this season, I feel like there's a little bit more of that.
Dude, you could it's one thing to just name real world things, whatever. I mean, and this show is pretty egregious with it, but there is one episode in particular that really struck home to me. Is it's the episode with Candace's new teacher, and they're all just sitting around reading books, and they're actual children's book. There's Arthur, and there's Green Eggs and Ham, and that one about the pigeon that I keep seeing when I go to the store.
Yeah, that's the one done by the Sheep in the Big City creator.
Yeah,
I think.
They're all just actual books, and I'm like, how do you do this? And all these companies are not just going okay, you referenced our thing in your show, you owe us money.
There was a bit in the Matrix episode where they're downloading all the shit that that's trying to slow the computer down, and they're downloading graphic intensive games, and I saw Fallout 4 pop up, and there was something else.
There's just actual logos. I don't remember what it was, but they were just I think it was during a song or something. But there was just the actual Fox News logo, and they turned the Twitter logo into a horrible demon.
Yeah, well, they had some of the other they had the Snapchat ghost and some other stuff too.
Yeah,
there's the Castaway episode where they pull out from the beach to show that there's actually a thriving community there, and there's an In-N-Out.
Yeah, it's just I don't understand just the vigorous amounts of real world references in this show.
When you're able to do it, then just fucking do it.
I guess it's the power of HBO, which is on HBO Max, by the way. I don't know if I said that.
You did. You said it was now streaming on HBO Max like a shill.
I'm not getting paid for any of this.
No, I know. I was doing the same thing for Monkey Bone last week. I was just download HBO Max to watch Monkey Bone and nothing else.
Well, I guess you're going to download HBO Max to watch this and Tom and Jerry, I guess.
Well, no, but I bought 6 months, but I bought it specifically so that I could watch HBO. I could watch a Monkey Bone in HD at first, and then I just have it for the next 6 months.
You gonna watch the 4-hour Snyder cut of Justice League?
Yeah, probably just to see how they managed to potentially make that movie worse or make it passable.
Again, it is another movie that my wife has no interest in watching, mostly because the first version of it was bad, and now this one's just going to be twice as long. I will probably watch it in chunks out of morbid curiosity.
Yeah, I think everyone's just wanting to watch it out of morbid curiosity.
Yeah. So Close Enough is back for a second season.
And also a third season. They got greenlit for one, which is awesome.
Which is good. Because this is a fun show. I don't have kids, so I don't really relate to the like, oh, we have a small child aspect of this show, but like
you can relate to the marriage stuff.
I do relate to the marriage stuff a little bit, but just like this show is about like people in their like early to mid 30s just dealing with the shit of life in like the most regular show way. I don't know. This show makes me laugh consistently just with all the stupid shit that happens.
I feel like there's been just enough time since the first season of Close Enough came out that I was having trouble kind of remembering some of the stuff that happened. Like, I feel like I'm going to go back and watch the first season, like probably sometime this week, just because with only like, I think the first season was also 8 episodes, and then the second season is as well. And they're like, 2 11-minute episodes on each episode. So it's like 3 hours to watch a season. So it's pretty breezy.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember exactly how much, like sort of memes and references they did in the first season, because it feels like they definitely did like a fair share of it in this one.
I mean, there's an entire episode that is just the plot of Die Hard.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's like a parody of like, that's a bit different. Like, having a whole episode that's supposed to be, just Die Hard, like, or there's the bit in one of those episodes where there's an episode where there's like a horse, and this episode is kind of like if they combined the poo horse, the poo brained horse episode and the James Baxter episode of Adventure Time together. And so there's a bit there where like they have like a James Cameron's Avatar parody.
Yeah.
Which is
so
funny.
random, and like I don't understand why Avatar is still such a big thing, because that came out like senior year of high school for me, and like I wasn't that blown away by it at the time, so I don't know why it's still like culturally relevant.
It's because
But whatever.
Disney announced like 6 sequels like 20 years before they were coming out.
Yeah, I'm about to say, where's Avatar 2? You keep talking about it. Where is it, James Cameron?
Yeah. Well, I think we could do without it for quite some time.
I will just say up front, the secret horse, the very last episode of the season is my favorite, purely because of the last joke. So the plot of the last episode is just like,
it's like a little weird anthology.
It's a weird anthology because like this windstorm blows through Los Angeles, and this fat derpy looking horse like gets carried away by the wind to the apartment building where everybody lives. And through like the course of the episode, everyone has an interaction with this horse that like profoundly changes their life or something. But then by the end, the horse ends up going back to the farm that it lives at originally, and they're like, it gets like blown away into dust. So I have to question whether it's real or not. And so they turn around and like, oh wait, no, there he is, and he's just standing on top of their car, and then he just takes like a fire hose piss right on the car. And like, there is like, I have like, that was the hardest laugh I had in this show, just because it's like this horse has like this dead-eyed stare, and like just this torrent of pee just comes out on the top of the car.
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous.
God, that was fucking great. And then it just ends, and like I had to question whether like, wait, is that the last episode of the season? And it was, and I'm like, that's a fucking great joke to go out on. Just I don't know why it hit me so fucking hard, but it did.
I mean, it was a pretty hilarious way to end it for sure.
And I think what really kills me is just the amount of pee.
Yeah,
because it's literally just like a fire hose of piss, and it's just, I don't know, it's fucking great.
I mean, it's a horse. I'm pretty sure its bladder is pretty big.
Well, I know, like I get that's like probably how a horse actually pisses. Just like, I don't know, the image of it fucking kills me.
I was also trying to remember. It feels like they definitely give the whole sort of cast like really fair play in this season. I was trying to remember if the first season was really more had more episodes focused around Josh and Emily and Candace, and I know that there's probably there was a couple episodes here and there that focused on the other characters as well, but I feel like the majority of episodes this season like were around like Alex and Bridget and Pearl and Randy.
Well, that's the thing.
Sorry, go ahead, Miguel.
That's the thing. The first season I just watched it mostly focuses around like the main 4 people. That's why with the second season, I think one of the first episodes like plays really hard on to Randy. I'm like, he wasn't even really a character. He was more even like a background character. So I thought that was a little weird. Because you're gonna dedicate an episode to a character I don't really care about at this point.
Right.
But the Handyman episode was probably the one they should have went with. Yeah. That one makes you care more about Randy as a character.
That episode was because what was it? It's Castaway for a bit, but it's like what he sees like the vision of
it's
the
Bob
host
Vila from This Old House,
fucking Tim Allen from Home Improvement, and the fucking IKEA logo, the mascot.
Yeah, which is weird because my wife didn't know who Bob Vila was, and like the only reason I know who Bob Vila is because my dad watched an absurd amount of This Old House when I was growing up.
Right.
Which, if you don't know, is just some old house renovation show on PBS.
I thought he was a TV pitchman for a while, too, for Handyman.
Probably.
I don't know if he was. I just know him from that fucking show my dad watched.
I love how Tim Allen had no fucking dialogue.
just making his fucking sound effects.
Making his fucking grunting. Like, I was so glad that was what they did.
And they just give him subtitles.
Yeah, but only his very last line. Like, that was really good.
God.
I don't know. I was trying to determine like which episode this season was my favorite, and I think the Die Hard parody is really good, but fucking there's the episode where they it's kind of like half of the episodes about like it's making fun of like true murder podcasts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like it was like Bridget like gives up, or Pearl kind of like snatches Bridget away and like takes away her phone to try to get her to quit cold turkey, and like because everyone's like, oh my god, she hasn't posted in like 30 seconds, and like they're just putting out like missing persons reports in the fucking podcast, contact them, and they're like accusing them of like having like eaten her body.
The fucking bit with the two podcasters where they like take a like immediately cut from the show to like plug some product. I'm like, God, that hurts. Because like every podcast I listen to like does that.
Well, I mean, aren't we going to start doing that soon too?
I'm not plugging actual products. Like at some point, the guy who runs our podcast network is going to give me commercials for the other shows, but I'm not plugging like actual products.
Right.
We got to cut now to talk about Surfshark.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about NordVPN. I got to talk about
Raid Shadow Legends,
Manscaped. What else? Yeah, MeUndies. I gotta say, there's one podcast that I listen to that shills MeUndies, and I'm like, I'm starting to get to the point where it's like, should I buy some MeUndies? They sound really comfortable.
It's working, JD. It's working on you.
God damn it.
So there's that episode, and then I also really enjoyed Sauce Face. Was a really fun episode for me.
That was a good one.
Yeah, because that was just sort of like an amalgam of like a bunch of different like crime movies, like fucking. It mostly takes after
Scarface.
No, well, I was gonna say Goodfellas, but yeah, also well, yeah, because obviously Sauce Face, Scarface, but I think like it's mostly based on Goodfellas as far as like rags to riches type stuff. Well, I guess Scarface is kind of about that too, but yeah, like I said, it's just mostly like a bunch of other crime movies like that. Yeah, so that one is pretty fun too. There's a lot of great stuff this season. The Matrix episode is also really fun.
The which one?
The Matrix one, the one that where yeah, Alex like breaks his old fucking like Nokia phone, like
somehow. He doesn't even break it. He just like it comes out of his hand and it like ends up in a toilet where a guy goes to shit on it.
Somebody shits all over it. Yeah. And and he just gets sucked into like fucking like one of those voice assistants, like puts him in one of those fucking. And that's the thing too. The end of the episode's like it's all a dream because they're all like in the fucking the baby pod batteries from the Matrix, and it just sort of ends.
That's what I was saying. It's like, does everything up past this point just take place in the Matrix? Like, does none of this real? Is that why like all these fantastical elements happen?
You know, I'm sure somebody out there has probably made that theory and been very genuine about it.
It's not just a theory. It's a cartoon theory. I don't know. I don't fucking watch MatPat anymore.
My one of my favorite bits from that was like I'd already mentioned, they're downloading a bunch of programs to try to slow down the program, and the fucking at the end of that episode, it's like a take on 2001: A Space Odyssey, where Hal's like singing a song, and it's the fucking computer singing fucking Smash Mouth's All Star.
What really kills me is after that they start playing like an orchestral version of All Star.
Yeah, that was the bit that got me, because like it was funny enough that she was singing it, but then to have the fucking the sweeping like score orchestral version of it playing after the fact was really good.
That's fucking good. Oh man.
So I wanted to talk about some of the other references that I noted in some of these other episodes, because there was there's the Smash Mouth reference, because obviously, you know, aside from being a banger, like it is a meme song. You know, there's no denying that. Like, you know, it gets used a lot in those.
Yeah.
There was in that same episode. I think it was in that same episode, but I think they drop an "All Your Bass or Belong to Us" reference.
Yeah, that's that one.
Yeah, there was. I think it was the end of that Home Improvement episode. At the very end of it's a parody of the ending of what was it, Empire Strikes Back, or with the fucking the Ewok, the Yub Nub. Like, you know, she's like the ghosts of like the three dudes, like off in the distance, and that's where fucking Alex gets hit in the face with like the bleach. There's a bit in the episode where the magician steals away the kids, and he's playing with like one of those fucking I think it's called a gravity ball. I just know it as like a fushigi because that was like the commercials they always played for it. But like it turns from a fushigi into one of the sentinels from Phantasm. It's like one of those fucking the balls, like the spikes coming out of it.
Oh jeez.
Which I thought that was like a hilarious reference, because I know that a lot of people would get that.
That episode has one of the most disturbing endings, where he starts like trying to fuck the box monster.
I love that. Was my favorite character, is the fucking present monster, because she's voiced by Kate Micucci. Yeah,
box monster.
I love that character. It's hilarious.
Shows up for like 30 seconds.
And then the other one was, and they popped this one off really early, because the very first episode of the season is Josh trying to. He's like
jacked.
He's trying to get jacked, and they have like they have like a wall full of photos of like different levels of muscles and stuff. And like at the very top of it, it's called Absolute Unit, and it's a picture of that fucking that sheep.
So is that like a meme? I just thought it was funny because it's just this fucking sheep.
Yeah, no, that's a fucking. That's like it was a tweet or something made by like some. Animal Preservation Society or something like that, and like they called it, like they had a picture of that sheep and they called it an absolute unit. And like that, it just turned into like a thing on the internet. So if you ever hear the term absolute unit used online, that's in relation to that photo, and they put in that episode.
I didn't get that it was a meme. I just thought it was really funny because it was just like all these really beefy dudes, and at the top of it is just this fucking sheep.
Yeah.
He's an absolute unit.
Also, that same episode had my favorite quote of the season. There's a bit there where the head of the gym is like talking about like, you know, all the things that he's going to do to get Josh like in shape. And he's like, yeah, well, you know, I just kind of want to lift up my daughter. And he's like, when I'm done with you, you'll be able to kill your daughter.
Yeah. One of the fucking lines I loved, and we actually had to back it up because we didn't understand her at the first time. But it's the episode where Josh and Emily are planning the birthday for the party for the adults. Yeah, and they just start rambling off all these things that they're gonna do, and just at the end, Emily screams, "We should get cocaine!
We should get some cocaine!"
It's like, wait, too far? Too far?
Yeah, they're talking about, we get some stouts and some artisanal pizzas, and
peyote.
Yeah. It's like, Google, Siri, how do you make peyote?
Peyote. Oh god.
Shit's great.
I can't remember which episode it was, but my favorite visual gag was I think it was the episode where it's all the Alexes. They're going back in time like a ton of times, and they just have the group of Alexes. I think there's one where they're like in a cemetery, and they're all hiding behind this big gravestone, and it says, "Here lies Lenny R. Television," which is supposed to be linear television.
Oh.
And I thought that was pretty funny.
I did think that episode ends with the most very obvious joke where all the which I don't understand, because like there's the episode where they make the time hooch and they keep going back in time to like try to save Alex's marriage, but they keep bringing whatever version of Alex they run into back with them further into time until the fact that they have like 12 of them.
Yeah.
For no real reason. But when they all get thrust back into the time portal, all the extra Alexes get sent back to like dinosaur times.
And they're talking about how they're gonna fucking clone like prehistoric man.
Well, no, it's just like they all get thrown back in the time, and one of them's like, "Well, what should we do now?" And like the first immediate thing that came to my brain is like, they're all gonna fuck each other, and that's exactly what they do.
Yeah. Oh god.
They get into a giant orgy pile until they're encased in amber.
Jeez.
And then it comes back around because they keep asking like the question the past Alex keep asking the future ones, like, when was I born?
1982.
Yeah. They clone up. They do a Jurassic Park cloning.
God. There was one more joke that I wrote down specifically because it made me laugh. Was I think it was the Sauce Face episode where the teacher is talking about Share Day, and it's like he like shows the blackboard and it's a picture of Cher, and it's Share Day. And he's like, he's saying like, oh, bring something in that makes you believe in life after love or something like that.
Their teacher is fucking weird, man.
The teacher even got an episode this season.
He did.
Is that with the rival like singing teacher?
Pretty much every character, like significant character from last season, got like at least one episode dedicated to him.
Which is fine. That's fun.
Yeah.
I would say that for the most part, I feel like my favorite stuff still is the stuff related to like, the married couple and the daughter. But like, I do like how the other characters are getting like, more, episodes dedicated to them, because there's some fun stuff in there. Like there's Pearl gets like a couple episodes. Oh, she gets one with Alex too. But there's like the episode
where she joins the old lady robbing gang.
Yeah, like unwittingly, like is their fucking driver.
The entire episode is basically just Point Break.
What was it? What was the one that the one old lady was kept on saying was, "It's lunchtime, bitch."
It's lunchtime, bitch.
And then the episode she has of Alex, where fucking Alex is like an erotic novelist, and they put Pearl's picture on like the slip sleeve and stuff, like because they're talking about, because every time they see a fucking Alex in relation to like erotica, everyone throws up.
But we could this older black woman wrote an erotic novel. We could sell that.
He looks like a werewolf that hasn't finished transforming.
Oh man, Kyle, I feel like we've been talking a lot. I mean, is there anything that struck you particularly well this season?
I told you in that one they had a gender bent JG Quintel. They were talking about different artists.
Yeah, I forget what they called her, but yeah,
they said his name.
Well, no, they said they like had a different version, or was it? Was it just straight up his name?
JG. Yeah, because they were talking about how a lot of those novelists have like the two initial and then last name, so like JG Quintel. Like,
I thought they called him like GJ Quinzel or something.
Nope.
Okay, because I know they like name dropped E.L. James or whatever.
Yeah,
but yeah, that is an interesting thing.
Wasn't as much. I think there was a lot more licensed music in the first season, and I'm pretty sure.
I didn't notice any this time.
They had a couple. I remember rattling off the ones from the first season. So I know in this one they had "Can You Hear Me Knocking" by Rolling Stones, and that plays that played during like a montage in the Sauce Face episode, and then there was "Unchained Melody" by the Righteous Brothers, which plays during that fucking parody of Patrick Swayze and Ghost, where they fucking get like the old ghost to like possess Randy, and fucking Bridget has sex with them.
I will say they finally made good on their promise of a fancy old ghost from like the promo image from the first season.
Oh, right, yeah. Oh, shit, I didn't
Because there's
realize.
just a ghost sitting in their living room in the promo image, and like, watch the entire season. There's no ghost.
Shit, I totally forgot about that.
They were getting to it.
They got to it. Though my wife said that she brought up the gif of I think it was from like the first trailer that they put out. It was Josh patting Emily on the butt by just saying butt cheeks.
Oh,
And
yeah.
apparently that's never happened yet.
Yeah, there's probably some scenes in there that they made specifically for the trailer. That does happen.
Yeah. I just thought it was funny because then I immediately went upstairs to try to reenact that.
How'd that go, JD?
She was lying on the bed, so I didn't have access to her butt.
My wife.
My wife.
Yeah.
But yeah, some funny stuff this season. It definitely makes me want to go and rewatch the first season already.
Yeah, I really like this show. I can't wait to see what they put out for season 3 whenever that's supposed to come out.
So that's an interesting thing, is that because you noted that the fucking Ghost on the Couch thing that they just got to in this season, but if that was promo stuff that they're putting out originally, does that mean that season 1 and 2 were produced together then, probably then?
I have no idea how that works.
I'm sure of it, since it's only 8 episodes. I'm sure they just broke season 1
into chunks. Oh, so more of, I was wondering that because they just got greenlit for a 3rd season, if that means, because I don't think they specified an episode amount, so I'm wondering if maybe that's another one of those cases where that one would probably be technically greenlit for 16 episodes, but they'll split it up into season 3 and 4. I don't know. I don't think that they've confirmed that.
Could
But
be.
yeah. Either way, there is going to be more episodes of Close Enough in the future, and that's something to look forward to. So
Now, something I don't know if I brought this up on the last time we talked about this show, but something that kind of bothers me about this, the way this show is set up, is that there are very obvious commercial breaks. When they fade to black. I was just reading this on the Wikipedia. Apparently, this does air on Adult Swim internationally.
right.
So I am wondering if at some point it is going to like be broadcast here.
Well, it was supposed to be on TBS, if you remember.
Yeah.
Well, see that I remember it being a thing in the first season, which like I can kind of understand because they probably wrote it and had it set up for.
That's another reason why I think that the second season was produced at the same time. When they thought they were building it specifically for TBS like commercial breaks. So I have a feeling when we get season 3, it's going to be like just one straight shot of a episode.
Yeah,
like back when they did.
I'm kind of wondering
for regular show.
Because that also bothers me that that they play the theme song twice.
No.
It's because when one half of the episode it'll end, it'll show the Cartoon Network,
bumper,
end bumper, and then it'll cut right into the next episode, which has the theme song again, but they don't play credits until the end of both episodes, which encompasses both episodes. So it's not just like one big continuous thing where it's like one episode ends and it cuts right into the next one, but they still play it like it's 2 separate episodes. Like they would cut it up for 15-minute chunks.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if when for season 3, if because it's very established for that this is going to be an HBO Max thing, if they'll change that.
Yeah, or even if they'll change it to be like a little bit more long form, if they'll do like 22-minute episodes potentially, like.
Well, see, I'm actually fine with the 15-minute ones because it doesn't like it's like these 15-minute episodes. I think it's good for the kind of stories that they're telling, and it doesn't give any joke the opportunity to be like run too hard into the ground.
Yeah, no, I wasn't talking more like, on all the time thing. I'm just saying it gives them the opportunity to do like, episodes where they could do that. Like if they wanted to do like a fucking like a Halloween special or like a holiday special or something, and they wanted to dedicate a bit more time to it or something. Yeah,
the last episode of last season, I think it was the double episode.
Was it?
Yeah, I think so. If I'm just reading the episode guide here, and it looks like episode 8 of last season was just one story. They didn't do one for this season, which it's fine.
Yeah, no, it is. Well, yeah, that's weird. I don't remember that, so that's just even more reason to just go and rewatch the first season again.
There you go. Kyle, do you have any final thoughts?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay. Matt, do you have any final thoughts?
No, just fucking, the show's hilarious, even if you never watch regular show. Like, it's just it's as far as adult comedies go, this is definitely like in the top tier of them. So it's absolutely worth watching. If you got HBO Max, seasons 1 and 2 are on there. Both are 8 episodes long. It's like 3 hours to watch, like one season. Pretty breezy, easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. Yeah, it's worth a watch. So definitely check it out.
Yeah. And JD, do you have any final? Wait, that's me. No, I agree with everything Matt said. It's a good show. Watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, everybody, thank you for listening to our review of the second season of Close Enough. If you have HBO Max, go watch it. It's a fun time. I don't know. It makes us laugh.
It makes me laugh.
It does make me laugh. Like the weird Eastern European dudes from last episode.
Oh, yeah. That's why we didn't mention that episode. It's Men Rock. That's pretty good.
Yep, everybody, thank you for listening. I don't know if I mentioned this at the top of the show, but the Ink and Paint Club is part of the Geekly Grind podcast network. Go check out the other shows on that if I haven't put the commercial in for this episode. I will eventually, whenever the guy gives it to me. But yeah, thanks everybody for listening. We'll be back again next week with something else. Till then, stay safe, and we'll see you later.
Later.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter to keep up with the show. You can also jump in our Discord to keep up with the conversation. The Ink and Paint Club podcast is available wherever you get your podcasts. Links, as always, are in the description. We'll see you next time.